Hi, everyone, and welcome again to another week of Millennial Mondays. I am your host, per usual, Jasmine Townsend, and this week I am joined by my big little brother in the faith, Will DuBose. Will, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hello, I'm William DuBose. I'm married to Miss Karen DuBose. We got four beautiful babies. Um, we live pretty much where I'm from. I'm here in Lawton, Oklahoma. I work out at the Goodyear plant here. That's what brings in the bacon for these hungry kids. Um, I don't do too much. I like to just be at the house with the family, doing house projects and just hanging out with them. That's all I do.
That sounds
That's,
like a fun time to me, especially to do it yourself projects.
yeah.
I made a mistake and watched The Ugliest Houses of America. It's this show on HGTV. And at the
Mhm.
end, like the person that gets the title gets like $150,000 like renovation by Victoria. I love her. So now I'm addicted to the show. So yeah. So you already know what we're here for. We're here to have a conversation, millennial to millennial. And per usual, question number one. Will, being a millennial, what does it look like to you to be in ministry? Or in other words, what does being a millennial ministry look like to you?
For me, it's a lot of questions. I'm not really. I've always been a person that's gonna ask something if I don't understand. So being in this kind of in between spot, I'm able to really. I still have access to a lot of the people
Yeah.
that the higher ups, as I would think of them. So that's pretty much what it is. I won't say there's a lot of pressure, but it's like a little good in between spot. You have a lot of accountability on you,
Yeah.
but it's good, I think.
And I think you're the first person that's actually answered it that way because like for us, we always think about what we can do for others, especially, with me being like a mercy motivated person, I always looking to help somebody else. And for you, like when you just said that we're in a good position to still ask, the older generation, the Gen Xers and the baby boomers and the silent generation. And then, like a couple of the other answers that I've gotten for this question was we're that bridge that connects the older to the younger. It's like we got the knowledge of the older because they're our parents and grandparents, but we also got that connection to the younger because there are younger siblings, there are kids. So it's like we can bring the knowledge in a way that that younger generation can understand it. So
Right.
I love how you talked about that. Now, question number two, for those of you that don't know, because I know the beard is throwing everybody off, but Will is 25 years old. And that honestly, it surprised me because if you go to our church and you hear him speak, especially in a small group, you would think he was 29 going on 30, which is, my age. But yeah, he's 25 going on 26 in March. So my question, Will, is even though you were still, mid to early 20s, what made you want to have such a serious relationship with God at such this age? Because most people at 25, they're going to clubs and partying and doing all the things so they can learn the lessons down the road. So what made you say, you know what, I'm gonna just do this God thing now? Because I'm gonna end up doing it anyways.
Well, like I always tell my wife, I kind of did all the little bad stuff I wanted to do when I was in high school. So it's kind of got out of my system. But a lot of that attributes to my wife and kids. To me, I don't have time to kind of play in that area. I like to, you know, I'm going to do everything I can to protect and provide for them. And in that is being a man of God. I can't do that, without this. So that's kind of,
And it's funny that that was your answer because that goes into question number three. So, question number three is as a husband and dad, it is your job to be the head of the house. What does that look like to you?
uh, one is protecting it physically and spiritually. So I have to, I credit my wife for a lot of the things because she gives me the access to be able to do that. She doesn't, try to fight me on things. She follows my lead and she encourages me to get into the word. She all that's the right stuff I'm supposed to be doing. So, like I said, a lot of that is because of her.
So kudos to Karen. For those of you that don't know, Karen was actually our guest last week. That's his wife. That's the wife he's referring to. So something I heard you say was she supports you and she motivates you to get into the word
Mhm.
because like both of you, like we're all still considered young adults because we're in that mid-20s to mid-30s range. And for some people, we do have a choice at the end of the day. We can be in the world all we choose to. It's just the way that you said, I don't have a choice
Mhm.
because to you that's your only choice, and that's a great way to look at it because even though technically we do have a choice, if you look at it like it's a choice, then it'll treat you like it's a choice. So I like how you was just like, first off, your wife motivates you, and then second of all, it helps you do the right thing because as the wife, that's our job is to be the helpmates. So it seems like Karen is doing what Karen is supposed to be doing. All
And
right.
also, like I said, once you start getting into the word and you know better, you can't go back to doing all that other stuff. So,
Great. That is so true. So true. So, question number 4. Actually, question 4 and 5 are kind of that. It hints at your answer to number 1, actually. So, question number 4 for the older generation: do you believe as millennials we could help them, and if so, how?
we just can help them with how this younger generation thinks because a lot of things, like for me, I thought, you have to just be spiritual, meaning, like for me, I didn't think that I had to get into the word because I think God knew me. I knew who He was, but He is the word. So if I don't know the word, then I don't truly know Him. So small things like that can help bridge gaps between the younger and the generation with how they think.
Okay. So, question number 5 then is now the younger generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, which technically includes our own kids. How can we as millennials help them in their spiritual walk?
Just being there for them and being able to pass down the knowledge without like being condescending and pushing them away, which is kind of a fragile thing with how they are now. But
Yeah.
it's really just, I believe, just showing love
Yeah.
unconditionally.
And that's what we're supposed to do. That's what all of us are supposed to do is just show that love to everyone. So, per usual, at the end, I like to give a little tip. But when I say I give, I just ask the question and the guest gives.
Hmm.
So, if there was one thing that you wish you knew at the beginning of your Christian walk that you know now that can help somebody else, what would that be?
Uh, the revelation of the tithe.
Whew.
I didn't get that, but a lot of your spiritual walk is with handing over what this generation cares about the most, which is money. That's everything revolves around.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't. There was something I had to learn. The part of that book helped me out a lot, but just I'm the only income in the house, so at the beginning that was kind of the big thing for me. I had to give that away, and then in my head I'm thinking about what could that be doing for the household. But
Yeah.
then again, I also had to think, me giving my tithe, what could that be doing for our household?
Right.
So that would be my tip.
So, 3 things from that. One, The Revelation of the Tithe. That is a great book. I
Mhm.
personally love that book. I strive to read it multiple times per year because every time I read it, I get something else. There will be a link in the comment section on how to purchase it. Thing 2, when you said that when I gave my tithes, first of all, that's number 3, the giving versus paying your tithes. But when you gave your tithes, what else could that money be doing? How you had to switch it to, all right, I'm giving my tithes. So now, like, what is that doing for my family that I'm giving it? Because now it's like I'm putting it in God's hands, and now it's a God problem versus just, and the fact that He still trusts us with the remaining 90, that blows my mind. And then, of course, like I said earlier, number 3 is giving the tithes because so many people say, oh, I'm paying my tithes. And it's like,
Mhm.
Like when I got that revelation, how it was like you pay your bills
Mhm.
and how when you think of your tithes, you think of it as a bill or
Right.
it's something that God instructs you to do and you have the opportunity to do so. So that is a great way to close. And thank you again, Will, for coming. And we will see you next Monday on
Thank
Millennial
you.
Mondays. Bye, guys.